Excuse me. Ooh, whoa. Oh, excuse-moi. All righty. Incredible afternoon, everyone. Incredible afternoon. All right. I have to go find this live over on Facebook. And change this. So it is Wednesday, which is our weekly Q&A. It's been storming here in South Florida, so I wasn't able to get on earlier today. Normally between 11 a.m. 12, like a lunchtime live is kind of like my best time to go live, and a lot of you guys are taking your lunch breaks and things like that. But it was storming here because I actually was going to go live at like 10, but yeah. And then I had an in-house one-on-one session. So I'm able to get on now. I'm not going to be on too long. I do want to try and beat the rain coming around again. I mean, it's pretty calm now. Not sure if it's going to come around again. I still have to go get Zion Imani. So I'm not going to be on too long. It's going to be kind of a quick fire, and a quick, maybe like 30 minutes or so live Q&A and answering any questions that you guys have. Maybe you guys have been, we're trying to figure something out in the past couple of days, since I've last been live. So I'm just going to just do it that way, where we'll be on for about 30 minutes or so, or until questions die down, because I want to beat the rain and getting back home. So I'm going to just take my laptop home and do some work from there. All right, so let's go ahead and share this out. As you guys are coming in, drop a hey, how you doing? Drop those peacocks. Let me know where you are watching from. And you can start posting your questions right away. I am in rain day mode. Even though I had a one-on-one session, I don't feel like putting on eyebrows or anything like that, or like a color shading in. So I'm not turning my camera on. It's going to be more so screen. So if you have a lot of like silhouette questions, hold on. There we go. So if you have silhouette related questions, I mean, even if it's general questions, you're just going to look at my screen as I answer them. So silhouette questions tend to work better on days like this where I'm not turning on the camera. And that way I'm not like giving a whole dissertation and it's like just looking at my screen as I talk. So any even like print settings or any sort of related questions or anything I can kind of go to the internet and show you is kind of great questions for this setting, because I'm not turning on my camera. All right, but hello. Welcome in, everyone. I just hate the fact that I don't feel like dealing with the whole. Over the last couple of times, I didn't get a claim on my video, so I'm not sure if they've left me alone because they see that I'm going to dispute it every single time. But I didn't go live on Honestly Speaking's page. So, Sillaholics Anonymous. So I'm just going to go ahead and share this out to my groups. So if you can just bear with me one moment. Alrighty. Oh, hold on. Alrighty. Ooh, spelled creative wrong. Hold on. Creative, Mr. T. All right. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna share it um 2 more times. All right. Excuse me. All right, there we go. So let's go back over here so I can see your comments. All righty. So incredible afternoon again. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for watching from Memphis, Tennessee. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. How can I make the heel shoe a rhinestone? Do you mean like the ones that they have on, like when it's like Diva birthday and it just has the heel? You just have to. It depends on where the file is. So if it was just a JPEG, you're gonna have to trace it out and isolate those areas. And once you have it where it is a a vector file, and you have it's basically a path. If you can fill it in with color to make it rhinestone, you're just gonna come over to the rhinestone tool and apply it however you want it to be. But you have to isolate it. So if you're just going off of like a regular JPEG of a heel, you're going to have to trace it. And you may have to duplicate it and then do some point editing to get it where it is just the heel part. I don't have one. I'm not sure. Yeah, give me a second. I'll just try and Google one. Hey, 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 just got off your flight and you're live. Oh, wow. Where did we travel to? Hello, hello, hello. Incredible afternoon. I am Shakia, the professor of HSINK365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. We carry sublimation paper, sublimation ink, pigment ink. We have chip resetters, empty cartridges, digital files, classes, and more on our website, shop.hsink365.com. If you don't know, our sublimation paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds for pretty much every substrate that you can put on a flatbed press, except for like slate or like ceramic coasters. Those take a little bit longer to press, but like your metals, your MDFs, all of your fabrics, you can pretty much get that done all at the same temp and time, and you don't have to worry about trying to figure out different trying to keep track of a bunch of different temps and time. So as a beginner, especially, our paper is great for you guys because it kind of eliminates some of that learning curve of trying to figure out the right temps and times for different substrates, because you'll see a bunch of them on like from either the different papers or the manufacturer of the blanks. But we have found that with our paper, 365, 30 seconds, or whatever you find is your sweet spot for your heat press works for everything as long as it's not slate or ceramic, okay? So definitely check out our products. We do have a sample pack. Stiletto heels, clip art. Well, I don't want clip art or just, let's just look for images. I got to find one where you actually can see the heel, the back of the shoe, should I say. I am looking for one where you can see the back of the shoe. I mean, you can see it on that one, but it's also a spiked shoe, so I don't want to necessarily use that one. All right, this isn't really showing the back of it, but oh wait, I hate when it's all this shop stuff. Hold on, because then I can't really just open up the file to look at it. Hold on. That took me to a website to purchase it. I just want a good JPEG. Okay, so we're going to copy and we're going to paste this over here. All right, so let's say I want to do this. I'm going to go ahead and put my box around it, and I'm going to just take my threshold up. I'm going to trace and detach. All right, so I have this, right? I need to isolate it from this part. So I'm going to do another trace. And it should pick up on the red. Oh, see, it's kind of going into the, yeah. So this one I'm going to have to manually do because it's picking up on the rest of it. So we're just going to hold down Shift and duplicate this. I'm going to purposely change, well, yeah, I'm going to change the color, take my transparency down on it so that I can, oh wait, I need to see a little bit more of it. But it requires you to basically do a trace of your, basically a trace of the shoe or whatever object it is that you're doing so that you get the vector version of it. So it just takes a little bit of prep work to get, what you're trying to do. And if you aren't familiar with how to use your edit points and all these different tools that you see me use, we do have a full 30-day training that goes over all of the essential tools and functions of Silhouette Studio and how to, what their foundational uses are, break down the why, not just the how of how to when to use them and stuff like that. So very, very helpful training to get you familiar with how to use Silhouette Studio and simply to design in general. We have 2 full days of point editing. So if you are intimidated by point editing, those 2 days will definitely get you right. Okay, so I actually need to split this. So I'm going to just do it. There's a couple different ways you can do it. This is going to be the fastest way for me to do this. just to split them in half. And now I'm going to all right. And let's say for this part, I want the heel to be a different color. So we're going to take that and we're going to delete this part. So now this simply becomes, okay, let's say I wanted to make that black. Oh, see, now you don't really get to see the shape of the shoe. That kind of I wanted the one that was from the side because, yeah, like this, you don't really see the shape of the shoe. So I might go in here and just kind of play around with it so that it kind of sort of looks more like a shoe from the back. We need to play around with these a little bit. So it's just about getting it to how you want it to be. And I'm going to pull this down some. I'm going to select it all, go over here to my rhinestone tool, and fill it all in. Now, actually, shoot. Let's undo. I forgot to subtract all. So if I want that to be stone, or if I wanted this to be solid without the stones, I can do that. So this would be without stones, this would be stones. Then of course you just tell it which size stones you need it to be. And yeah, that's how you would do that. All right, so hey, viewing from Charleston, South Carolina, just received my new chips today. What can I do to really make my colors pop when making summation shirts? Use, honestly speaking, summation paper. There's really nothing. I mean, it really depends on the material that you are using, as well as, you know, the paper and stuff like that that you are using. Of course, white is going to give you the best color payoff because it is a blank canvas. If you're putting it on colored garments, even if it's like a light tan, light gray, light pink, ink is translucent, so it's going to affect the colors and change them up a little bit. Um, but white and using really like good quality polyester shirts is what's going to really help your colors pop. And of course, using honestly speaking summation paper and not over sublimating. So that's why we press at 365 for 30 seconds. Just, you know, nice, even, firm pressure, not say firm, but just even pressure on it. My pressure's never really too high, it's just to where the heat press is, you know, to the back of the paper and it's, you know, it doesn't move and stuff like that. And that's one thing I do to get, you know, to get great prints on my shirts. I can't figure out how to get my pics uploaded. Uploaded to what? Silhouette Studio? Is that what you're referring to? If that's what you mean, then it depends on where you get them from. Like, let's say if it's a file that's on your computer, you can simply go File, Open, and it will open it in its own design page. If you are working on something and you want to bring it into that exact same file, you're going to go to Merge, and then you'll click on a picture and bring it into that, and then you'll be able to edit it from there. Any other questions? You guys are able to just post your questions. Even as I'm answering something else, go ahead and post your questions. That way I can just jump to that one as soon as I'm done with the next one. I mean, the one before that. Oh gosh, hold on one second. There we go. So again, like I said, that way I can just kind of jump to the next question. If we don't have any new questions posted, right now my live time says 21:25. So if we don't have any new questions posted by in a minute, because it shouldn't take you that guys long to type it up. So within 22 minutes or 23 minutes, we're going to go ahead and end the live. These are not classes, not something where I'm doing like a demo of something. This is strict, like straight up Q&A help, to help you in real time. So if you guys don't have any questions, there's no content here. So post your questions and, I'll do my best to answer them. How do you take the white out of a picture? It really depends. Like, so that's kind of a very broad, like I'm not sure if you mean like the middle of something, because something like this, I don't want to take the white out of here. But if there was a gap, so let's say I may have wanted the white. So I can't take it out of here really, because then the window won't look like a window in that spot. But like, let's say right here, you're just going to basically do a secondary trace. So I have several videos on that. We definitely go over that in the 30-day training, but I'll just remove the white from right here. So it's just a double trace. I mean, actually that's one little spot. So if you have designer edition or above, you can use the color dropper. I don't really use that one very often, but you can use the color dropper. But what I typically do is, okay, let's just go trace, put the box around. If this is what you mean as far as removing white. So I'm not really sure what you mean as far as removing white, because like, is it a certain area? And because it doesn't trace, you want to isolate that part so that you can get it white. So that's like, that can be a bunch of different things. So I'm just kind of going off of what most people kind of say when they say, how do you remove the white? But if yours is a different question, you have to word it a little bit differently for me. All right, so we're just going to take this up, because you also set a picture. So a picture is different than maybe like I mean, although a picture can be a JPEG, but like a graphic type image or design. All right, so we're just going to go trace and detach. That's going to remove all of the white from around it. And then we're going to put our box around just where the white areas are. And I'm going to again take my threshold up. And this time I'm going to do a regular trace. Click on that trace. I like to add color. I'm going to release compound path, hold down shift, click in those two areas where we need to remove the white, and hit delete on my keyboard to delete everything else. Select them both, modify and subtract. So now wherever I put that at, you see what's behind it instead of it being white. The other way that this can be done, like I said, if you have designer edition or above, you have the trace by color. So you'll still do it where you're going to do a trace and detach. And then you're going to go to trace by color. I'm going to go trace by color, sample in here, take my tolerance up, trace and detach, and it pulls that out. Trace by color, put that right there, take my tolerance up, trace and detach. So those are two ways that you can do it. Where can we copyright free images to use in our design? So you wouldn't copyright somebody else's work, but if it is like if you got it somewhere where you have the commercial use, or let's say it was royalty free, and you're able to use it, you would simply use it, but you can't copyright somebody else's work. So you don't have to worry about copyrighting it. If it was free to use and it, on the website was saying it was free to use, you're just simply going to put that in your design. That's kind of it all depends on what it is that you're looking for. There is no like one specific place to look for royalty free images. Um, I mean, if you go to like certain sites, their site will basically give you commercial use of them. Be very careful because before I always say like Creative Fabrica, but Creative Fabrica did have, I'm sorry, some Godfident. So like they had like basically a phrase that has been trademarked and they have it on their website. So whoever is saying, hey, you can take this, you can use it. I'm not going to come after you for using my letters and my arrangement. The person who trademarked that phrase can come after you and say, okay, hey, I don't care how you made it. It's my phrase. It's trademarked. You can't use it. But for the most part, most of the things that are on Creative Fabrica are like artists actually designed them, especially like images or backgrounds. They design them and they put them on there, and you have commercial use. Like they have, you're able to use them for commercials, so you can put them in your design. Now you're never going to be able to, it doesn't matter where you get it from, if it's something like Mickey or PJ Masks or Hello Kitty, anything like that, you're never going to be able to get, commercial use or copyrights or be able to just use that. It's, a lot of times like ones where artists actually go out and draw it and you can go onto their sites. Certain things people will put on sites where there is royalty free, but you really, really just have to read the fine print when it comes to those. A lot of the times people on Etsy may, have it like they're the artist, they'll have it to where it's not going to necessarily be free, but you purchase stuff from them and you can also purchase a commercial use license to be able to use their images. And then there's others where, if you're a small business, they allow you to do, I still don't understand how the heck they think they're going to regulate it, but they'll say they'll allow you to use it up to a certain number of prints and stuff. They just try and keep those who do print on demand, like Principal or any of those like print on demand places. They're really trying to prevent them from using it and mass producing them, or a company from overseas seeing the image and getting it and then like mass producing shirts with their artwork on it. So a lot of times that's why they'll put restrictions on it. But for small businesses, they really don't. So most people on there, they don't really have any restrictions. And also from Etsy, a lot of them, they just trace somebody else's work and threw it on Etsy. So they don't even have the right to tell you what you can or cannot do with it. So, okay, now come on now, plug. I'm trying to pack up as I'm wrapping up these last couple of questions so I can get out of here and hopefully beat the rain. I'm actually hoping the worst of the rain is done. Today was supposed to be the worst day for the rain. So hoping that the majority of it has passed us. because it hasn't rained in a good little minute now. So I'm don't want to push my luck and wait too late, and then I'm stuck because I have to get the little one. I don't want him to get sick. All right, so that actually worked out because there are no other questions. So guys, just remember that when I do these Q&As, they're not classes. Now, if you would like structured classes, we have a whole lineup coming. The bachelor's program is coming back. The master's, doctorate is not going to be with business. Like the doctorate was like the 2 designs plus the business. Now doctorate will be strictly about designing. It's just a higher level of designing for those who, you know, really, really want that level. And my doctorate will probably end up also including a little bit of a mixture of Studio and Photoshop, and just kind of getting you past the beginning stages of designing. So those are coming. So if you're looking for structured classes, that's going to be easy to follow along and understand and help you get there a little bit faster than you would on your own as far as designing. It still takes time. Give yourself some grace. You may not be a, you know, world-renowned designer overnight. Just want to keep practicing and practicing. I had a one-on-one session, in-house session today, and that's one thing she was saying. She was like, I mean, it was a happy accident to where she actually moved something on act like by mistake and realized, oh wow, this changes how his face looks. So let me move this, let me move that. So as long as you guys are actually in the program and you are practicing it, just playing around in any software that you're wanting to learn, any design software, you're going to end up, you know, noticing and figuring out certain things, but you have to put in the work. You have to go in and practice and just play around with some things. Okay. But yeah, we're going to have some design classes going to be strictly focused on designing from the beginning, and then masters, those who maybe past the beginning and kind of really want to get into the nitty-gritty of some things. And then doctorate, we're going to be, you know, don't ask me where something is. We're going to just be going and be really designing and things like that. So when we book a one-on-one with you, how do we pick the date? You email me and send me a few dates and times, and then, you know, we'll coordinate it that way. But yes, you send an email and we choose the dates and times. I used to have it on the site, but people would book stuff and they try and book it like the same day, and I'm not available. So I no longer do that, where you can just go on the site and just pick a date and time. Now it's you contact me and we set a date and time. What is your opinion on printable vinyl versus Jet Pro 3G? So you mean printable vinyl? Do you mean like Caesar, Color Print, Easy, or PU and all those, like basically Eco Solvent prints? For me, it's not really a major difference. That's why Eco Solvent wasn't this game changer for me. I didn't purchase my roll-in for HTV because I had no issue with Jet Pro 3G. It worked for me for the types of shirt that it was. It's not like I'm building a brand off of these. It's like birthday shirts. Most times these people are wearing these shirts one time. They really don't care. And even then, I have so many people that still wear my shirts till this day. And we're talking years and years since they were made. I personally did not have an issue with Jet Pro 3G. It can be kind of annoying with transferring separated letters. I've figured out my little trick for that, but if you have a lot of shirts to do, it can be kind of like that's why when Easy Subly came out, I thought that was going to really help because it had a masking to it, but no, that masking doesn't pick up. So the only real advantage to me when it comes to printable HTV such as Caesar Color Print, Easy, or PU, or like the Stalls one and things like that, is the fact that there is a masking to it and you can easily pick that up and transfer and then put it on your shirt. It does have a slightly like lighter hand feel, the vinyl versus the Jet Pro once it's like pressed. But to me, they still have a sound to them. If your design is really big, it's still going to block out any air getting through your shirt. So in those aspects, they are absolutely the same. The only advantage to me is, being able to pick it up if you have individual pieces. Do you need to adjust the size of your 60-inch stove to work for 62? So if you, most times what I'm noticing now, the 62 are the ones that are straight and they don't have a curve to them. I don't have those. I've never had any of those in my possession. So if it's not fitting that one because of the curve and because of the length, yes, you're going to have to basically modify it yourself in order to get it to work. But yeah, it's, if it's straight, like I said, on ours, it's for the one with the curved neck. If yours is more straight down and doesn't have the curve, then the 60 won't work. Now the 70-inch one, only because I got some of those that are like that were the 70s and they were straight, the 72s and they were straight. I did do a new template for that one, and now I need to put that one in the vault, but and eventually at some point put it on the website. But the 60, I haven't ordered any of those to be able to do a template. I make my templates from the actual image. I mean, the actual product, I'm sorry, the actual substrate. Which email, I mean, really to any of them, I check them all. So whether you send it to the professor at hsink365.com, admin hsink365.com, info at 383, I think you sent me something, so you asked about it, so I just haven't responded. I haven't replied back to emails because I came in late, had a one-on-one session, then I had to do this, and I'm on my way back home. But I will respond to your email because I think you sent it to 365 hsink365prints.com. So it doesn't really matter which one you kind of send it to. I check all of them. Yeah, I've never used that particular brand, so I have no firsthand experience. I don't know how it feels compared to the only ones that I have used. So when you're saying Star Trans, if it is a printable transfer, so some people call it printable vinyl, but it's not. It is just a transfer for darks. If you can take that and you are able to rip it easily, that is not vinyl. A lot of companies call it vinyl because that is a term that a lot of creators and especially crafters, that they will understand that versus simply calling it print. Like, they just want to hear printable HTV. If you say transfers for darks or whatever, like they'll act like they're like, huh? So companies call it that, but they're not really vinyl. Like I said, if you can rip it, if it's like you peel it off from the backing of the, here's also how you know. If there is a paper backing to it, that is not vinyl. Vinyl is going to have a clear carrier sheet, and then you have, you'll put once you cut in all that stuff. So if it has more of like a paper backing to it, that's transfers for darks, especially if you can see like the names and stuff on the back of it, that's transfer for darks. That's not vinyl. All you have, I mean, what the worst, I mean, one thing that you can do is before you put a design on it, take the template, you have the grate on it, take together, several pieces of regular 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14. Go ahead and send that to print as grayscale, or, especially if you just have the gray, put your stole to it to see where it falls at on it, and see if you can, either increase it or maybe take the top and use your edit points and raise that up. I think I even have a video talking about how to increase the size. So that should be on Sewaholics Anonymous's YouTube channel, where I talk about how to, adjust the size. That video should be on there. But the best thing to do is always to print it out. Just print it out on grade, print it out on regular paper, put your stole to it, and just see where it lines up at. And if it's just the bleed line that you need, you can always click on the outside part and just put an additional offset so that your bleed line just extends out. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Like I said, only thing I can say is if you peel the backing away, you take the actual white part of it. If you are able to easily rip that, it's not vinyl. I don't know who Star Trans is, never heard of it. If they have regular HTV as well, like then it might be like printable, like actual HTV. If it's, so here's the other thing too. if it is made to be put in your regular pigment ink or dye-based printer, that is not vinyl. The printable vinyl, you must use solvent or latex ink. So if they advertise that you can use it in a regular home desktop printer, that is not printable vinyl. That is just transfers for darks. Yeah, I was gonna actually message you because I need to take that off my website. I no longer do 2-hour 101s. I meant to take that off of the website. So you'll end up being issued a refund for the difference because I don't do 2-hour 101s anymore. That's a long for a one-on-one session. It's a lot to sit for that long. So but yeah, I will respond to that as soon as I get to the house. Like I said, I'm actually about to leave here I'm actually about to leave here right now. Because it's closing time. Oh, not really closing time. I want to beat the rain if it comes back. And I'm also not feeling 100% myself today. A little under the weather. If you are watching and you are enrolled in Foundations of Designing, we do have a session tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow evening, which I'll be on live tomorrow to remind you guys, but we do have a Foundations of Designing session tomorrow evening. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Remember to visit the website shop.hsink365.com. That is where you're going to find our Sublimation ink, paper, cartridges, chip resetter for the old workforces. They do not work on the new workforce printers. Access to all of our classes, which I need to take this down because we don't have. Well, we can watch the playback of the one that class, but it's not live, so I have to take it off of current and live classes. Same thing with this one. Any files under HSINK Digital. The 30-day training is still discounted at checkout. You have to do it from here. So you go to, once you see in your cart, I Can Design, it's $30 off. So that is still valid. And yeah, until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Be incredible.